Hey guys, Deja Vu here, and welcome back to the channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be bringing on Mr. Trapper from OneHive, who is currently pushing in Legends League and is doing really well. I figure we can bring him on the channel, and basically he could share what strategy he's using, and then also give us some tips and tricks in case you guys want to do your own Legends push. So let's go ahead and get right into it. All right, so I have Mr. Trapper on the line from OneHive. How are you doing today?
I'm fine. What about you?
I'm doing all right. So I've been hearing that you're an expert at Yeti Bobat. So I figured I'd bring you on the channel so you could share your tips and basically just how you do it. I know you're currently pushing in Legends League with it, and I think you're doing pretty good. I think you're in like the top 200. So why do you think that this strategy is working so good right now in Legends?
Because most of the people is trying to defend Edrex, and Edrex is really defensible with single Infernos, and bats are really strong for single Infernos. So if you take the right betting with the Yeti army, then you have the perfect way for the bats.
Right, the bats can just overwhelm the single Infernos. And do you think like after the update though that more people are going to start running multis, and do you think that's going to matter, or what do you think is going to happen?
Yes, yes, it is. Just now, like 4 days, I'm pushing still in Legend League with Yeti Bobat, and I see like more people is using multi Infernos. But it is still really strong because the world champion will get like one multi inferno of the most times, and you get like one multi inferno with the army. So you have one inferno left, and I take ice golem with me. So I use it for the Wiz Tower, and I have one more freeze for the inferno.
Right. So now, since you don't have as many singles, basically you don't have to worry about the single taking down your RC, so she can get even more value. So what we're gonna do is you shared some replays from your Legends push. We're gonna go ahead and take a look at them, and basically we'll just break it down as we go and try to make it as simple as possible, so you guys are able to use it in your own clans. And I think like the first replay we're actually taking a look at, the guy is actually #1 in Legends right now. So these definitely aren't some easy bases you're hitting.
No, right.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna count down three, two, one, and we'll play the replay on one, just so we can make sure we're watching it at the same time. So are you ready for
hmm
that? Okay. All right. Three, two, one, and we'll start playing it. And let's just pause it right away and basically just let me know like when you first saw this base, like just break down like how like what was your plan on it and what did you want to do on this base?
Firstly, I am always looking for my Warden Walk. I am trying to take out one Wiz Tower with my Warden Walk. And the important thing in Yeti Boba is the funnel for the Yetis. So most of the times I use like one Yeti, one baby dragon, and some loons for the funnel. And the other side I use my Warden, and if I fail the funnel, then you can't triple it of the most times.
Yeah, so basically the funnel is the most important part. You definitely want to make sure
Yes.
those Yetis go where you want them to go. So basically, we'll say like step one is the Warden Walk. You say you always basically use a Warden Walk. That's probably the best way because then you don't have to use any troop space. And then you say you use
Mhm.
a Yeti on the other side. And I see you don't have any jump spells. So how do you actually? Okay, you got 5 wall breakers. I see. So you don't bring any jump spell with this army.
Yes.
And
I am
then
using like one rage in the start of the attack with my Warden ability, so I can break like 2 or 3 walls with the wall breakers because it is really OP with the rage.
right. Okay, so let's start playing it and we'll just talk about it a little bit more. So let's play it on three, two, one, and let it play. And what happens if you see ring bases? I mean, does this strategy work really well on ring bases? I know I see you got the battle blimp, so basically you can always secure the 2 star with the blimp.
Yes, I'm doing like always I start from a corner and I'm trying to walk my army to the middle of the base, not to the town hall because I always I always blimp the town hall.
Right.
So I always take the town hall and I take like scatter shots because it is really important for the bats.
So what do you have in your blimp? What are you putting in there?
I have 2 Yetis and 3 Super Goblins.
Okay, so that's what you're always bringing in when you go into Legends.
hmm Yes.
Okay, so make sure, guys, you screenshot this exact army, and I just recommend to start practicing with it. So it looks like you're starting with the Warden Walk.
Not really.
No?
Everyone use 5 loons and 8 bowlers, but I changed this army and that is my own army. I'm using this from the start, and I'm the only one that use this, I think.
Okay, so
Because
yeah, you guys
everyone
definitely
use like
wanna try it then. If you're the only one using it, so you guys definitely screenshot this, and I guess this is the army to go with. Yeah, what were you gonna
mhm,
say?
yes.
So you got the CC coming out. You sent the blimp into the town hall just to make sure you get down the 2-star. Troops are going in. Looks like you used the wall breaker, and I mean at this point you're just trying to get down the funnel for the bats. You want to make sure you get those scatter shots down because otherwise they're going to be a big problem
Mm.
for the bats. Looks like you're going to take down the single. You want to try to get like a narrow path for the bats. Do you usually go with a bat bomb or a bat wave? Like, what do you think is better?
I think the bat wave is stronger because if you bat bomb and the bats are going so big ways, then the bats are going down fastly.
So a bat wave. So yeah, it looks like so far you got all the splash down. Looks like you only have one wizard tower left, and you got the single. And that's what makes this strategy so good right now because you can see the single inferno. You don't even have to worry about freezing it because the bats can just overwhelm it, and that's why it's working so great right now because everybody is basically running single infernos. And I mean, all you have left is a few storages. You still even got the queen ability. What do? You swag the queen ability over here? Let's see, you have a
I don't
few
really like
storages as well.
swag.
Okay, so you still okay? There you go. Pops the queen ability. You got the bats on the storages. You guys do have to be careful when using this strategy because you definitely don't want to have a good attack and end up time failing because the bats do less damage on those storages. So make sure you guys are aware of that and you do have your cleanup troops. And there you go. That is going to be the first triple. So we'll go ahead and take a look at a few more replays. All right, so this is the next replay we're gonna go and take a look at, and it is one of these annoying like box type bases. Do you usually see a lot of these type of bases up in like higher legends?
Yeah, at the moment I see a lot.
Yeah, and there looks like so he does on this one he has 3 multi infernos, so that is just
Yeah.
showing that even if people are gonna start running multis, that this strategy is still gonna be doing really well. So let's go ahead and play it, and let's see how you get it done here. So let's start playing it in 3, 2, 1. All right, and what was your plan on this base when you first saw it?
Um, I'm again trying to make the perfect funnel for my army, and I'm trying to get it in because there's like one multi, 2 scatters, and a waste tower, and that is important to take out.
So it looks like you're starting with the Warden Walk again. You guys should start to see a pattern here. Always going with the Warden Walk for the funnel. Like we said, the most important thing for this strategy is probably to make sure that funnel is secure. And then you're going with the Yeti on the other side again with the Baby Dragon. You just want to make sure those troops are going where you want them to go. And I mean, do you have any tips like for the strategy? Like anything that you do that other people don't do, or anything that could like help the
Yeah,
viewers?
the ice golem. Yeah, the ice golem is really important. You can tank the waste tower or some arch towers, or you can make the RC stronger
So
because the
basically,
RC sometimes gets really much damage. And the ice golem helps really much.
so it's really good to bring that ice golem because it has so many different uses. Like depending on the base, you can use it with the RC or you can use it to tank for the bats. So definitely really important that you guys bring that ice golem. And it does take a little bit of base identification. So it looks like you found the Tesla farm over there. You tried to put the bowler down. I guess what were you trying
Yeah,
to do
the
over there?
Tesla farm is really important to find.
Okay, so it's good that you found it, and you're sending the troops in. You put the blimp down, doing the immortal blimp, meaning that when you put the blimp down, you use the warden ability right away just to make sure that the blimp makes it to the town hall. So, I mean, the most important thing is you get that 2-star, and troops are going in. And are you starting to see a lot of headhunters in the CC now after the update?
Yeah, I see it much, but it isn't really banning me because my army is too OP and it is going out in like 4 seconds.
Yeah, so it's not really an issue. I mean, if you were doing like a queen charge or something, different story. So it looks like you're starting at the bats at the bottom side, and I mean, look at that. There's not even any wizard towers down there really, but you do want to be careful when you have the eagle up. Sometimes the eagle will start targeting your bats. Like, any tips for that, or do you know why that happens, or?
Yeah, because your army is too far away and sometimes the eagle can just switch. So you have to look good at it and don't start the bats too far from it.
Okay, so you guys definitely have to be careful about that. I know a lot of times I was using this strategy. I put my bats down and the eagle just starts taking them out. That's definitely not what you want. And look at this, you still even have the Royal Champion up. Bats make it through the whole raid. I mean, anytime the bats are through the whole attack, then you are probably going to be getting a triple. Like, again, though, you just have to be careful about those time fails, because you see the bats are on the storages, and they do less damage on storages, but you have a lot of cleanup down at the bottom, and it's going to be another triple. I mean, this base is pretty much crushed. So let's go ahead and take a look at one more replay. All right, so this is the next replay we're going to take a look at, and just looking at this base, I know, like, when I see these type of bases, I absolutely hate hitting them. So what was your plan on this one right here?
Like you can see, there's a multi-inferno in the core of the base, and that can be super annoying for the bats if you don't take it out. So my main thing was to take out that multi-inferno, and then the queen can reach every scatter shot and the eagle. So then you have like the perfect way on top for the bats.
Right, so again, let's just recap for everybody. So the main thing with this strategy is making sure you have the funnel, and then step 2 is you're going to want to send your main troops in, try to get as much splash damage as you can, and then you have the bats for the back end. Pretty simple, not too complicated. Let's go ahead and play it, and let's see how it plays out here. So we'll go ahead and play it in 3, 2, 1. And I also do want to mention, this strategy isn't only good for Legends League, it definitely is a really good strategy to use in War. Also, if you guys were watching the World Championship, a lot of the pro players were actually using this in the tournament.
Yes.
So let's see what you're doing here. Where are you going to start the Warden Walk? Got to take all that time planning. I definitely recommend that, like, if you guys are not in Legends League, it's really good practice to push up in Legends, just because you get the idea of like planning out an attack like really fast, and it helps a lot, in my opinion. Okay, so you're starting the Warden Walk. Over there you do find 2 Teslas, which again is pretty nice because you want to find that Tesla farm. Putting a Loon and a Yeti, and then I guess you're gonna use the Baby Dragon. And it seems like a lot of these bases too, they have open walls, so it's pretty easy to get into. I guess you're going to send your troops right into the Archer Tower over there?
No, at the corner, so it get to the Archer Tower, yes.
Okay, and then again, you're going to probably send the blimp into the Town Hall, so that's the really good thing about this strategy too, is because you have that blimp, so you don't have to worry about like ever getting 1-stars. I mean, do you ever 1-star using this army?
No, not really.
Yes, that's the really nice thing, because you always have that
And
blimp.
like you can see, I had a triple wall break with the normal wall breaks.
On this one right here, you're going to do a triple wall break?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's pretty nice. I mean, if you have those super wall breakers, definitely good to use them. A lot easier, but looks like you have the super goblins. And let's see this wall break. You say you're going to get a triple wall break here. This is pretty nice with only 5 wall breakers. Alright, so sending the blimp in. Going to use the Warden ability. We want to make sure that blimp gets to the Town Hall. I'm trying to see. Let's see where this wall break goes. There you go. There's 1. There's 2. Wow, that was a really nice wall break. Did you plan on that happening, or that was just a little bit of luck, or?
Yeah, no, I planned that because I'm using a double rage from army.
Okay, so you put the rage down, you're basically getting double value, because then it also rages up the wall breaker, which is pretty nice. You got those 2 bowlers going off to the side, taking out that eagle. Look at that OP bowler splitting like that and getting down the eagle. Alright, sending the bats in. Want to make sure you freeze that scatter and the wizard tower. Bats going. Let's see, you only have, what do you only have, like, yeah, you only have 1 more wizard tower over here, and then you have 1 on the left side. So you still have the Ice Golem, and like you said, you're going to use the Ice Golem. The Ice Golem is really nice because you can use it to tank the last wizard tower if you need to for the bats. And again, I mean, this base is just going to be crushed. You still have the queen ability. Even like the last, I mean, this is probably the second attack where you probably could have swagged the queen ability if you want to. So, I mean, I hope you guys are seeing how powerful this strategy really is. I really recommend you guys start practicing with it. Is there any other tips you want to give? Or, I mean, I think we basically covered everything. I mean, it's really like, it's not like, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you have to be really small with your cleanup, because it is really hard to plan with the time, because bats are sometimes going really fast and sometimes going really slow. So put all that always waste towers behind it.
Right, yeah, you definitely don't want to have a really OP attack and then just end up time failing, because I know at Town Hall 13, I mean, because of all the building, you have extra buildings, and there's just a lot of time failing happening. So that's gonna be all for today, guys. I hope this breakdown helped you, so you guys can go in your own clans and pick up some triples with this. Mr. Trapper, thank you for coming on the channel and sharing your tips. Really appreciate it.
Sure.
And that's gonna be all for today. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.